Hello, students. Good morning to all of you. I hope you will be fine at home. Welcome you all in this lecture of power system instrumentation subject in your basically fifth semester. The code number is EE311, 3 units for the third year, and basically the unit number is 3 is running on, and basically we have started earlier this unit number 3. So in today's lecture, basically, I connect you with my previous lectures. Then it will be very easy. It would be very easy for you to understand what we are basically have studied and what we are going to study in this lecture. Now, one thing I want to tell you, my dear student, that power system instrumentation is basically an important subject in the power system. Why it is used in the power system? Because the instrumentation deals with the measuring part. Measuring part means I want to measure, means electrical quantity. If I want to measure, my dear student, so I need what? Instruments. So that how can we work with that instruments? In which manner I want to work with them, basically work with these instruments, and which type of instrument we have, how they work, how they interact, how they interface, how they will give you the output, in which manner they will give you the output, how can we take output from, in which form, and can we convert into the another form. So that whole covers the instrumentation. That whole covers the instrumentation. So as per the unit number 1, I already told you that deals with the errors. Errors is basically what type of errors we have while we measure something through instrument, from instrument. So if I'm measuring something from instrument, so need to understand the working of the instrument and the features of the instrument, specification, whether it is calibrated or not. So if they, I don't know anything, so it will give you the error, because I don't know the which type of error we'll get. 5%, -5%, +5%. So I have to identify that what type of errors we have. So many errors we have. That is random error, systematic error, we can say, environmental error we having, instrumental error we having, so many errors. So we have these errors. Then we make measurements. If we make measurements, though the measurements are in the form of readings, so I have to take average of it. I have to make the, if average I have already get it, and if I make deviation, so standard deviation, variance, so many things we have studied in the unit number 1. Now if I am talking about, my dear student, unit number 2, so unit number 2 is basically deals with the transducers. What? Which type of transducer we have? Transducer are basically the element, component, device, part of a system which transfer or convert one form of energy into the another. If I am talking about, my dear student, one form, that is the physical quantity, pressure, temperature, acoustic, chemical, whatever it is. We can convert directly into the another form, that is in the form of electrical, because we are the electrical student which we are studying basically. And I basically in the electrical engineering branch. So we totally deals with that instrument which deals the electrical quantities, deals with the electrical quantities. So if I am talking about the transducer, it means I am always talking about the electrical transducer. So many transducer we have, but we totally focused or based on transducers, which is electric. So we having the transduction type, transducer, primary transducer, secondary transducer, analog, digital. Transaction means conductive, we can say capacitive, inductive, photoconductive, photovoltaic, so many. The examples are LVDT, RVDT, strain gauge, piezoelectric crystal, photovoltaic cell. Okay, so many things we have. Thermocouple, resistance thermometer, stress temperature detector, RTD. So many things we have already studied in the unit number 2, that is transducer. Now in unit number 3, basically, which we are running on. So in unit number 3, we have already studied about the signal conditioning. Now why it is very necessary? Because if I am getting the signal in the form of analog, okay, and I am using the instrument which works on digital, So first what do I have to do? Convert that analog into the digital. Okay. Now taking the reverse example of it, inverse of it, opposite of it, change of it. Now I having an instrument which works on analog and I having a digital signals. So I have to convert into the analog. So I have to condition it, smoothing it, or type to try to convert into according my shape, according my way. So these are basically the conditioning. So if I want to condition the signal, I need so many things. What I need? Amplifiers, because amplifiers are very important part. Why it is very important part? For example, I am converting digital to analog, for example. So if I am converting that digital quantity into the analog, some losses will take place. Okay. And if I'm converting five, for example, one digital into the five analog value, one means five, for example. Now one I am getting, it means I will get the five, but I am getting four. So that is the thing which we don't want. So we have to amplify this thing. So we need amplifiers. Convert into four into the five. So I need amplifier. So amplifier of instrumentation type. That is the basically operation. If I am talking about the amplifier in this unit, my dear student, so I'm talking about always I'm talking about the operational amplifiers. So operational amplifier in the last of this unit, I'll tell you about the op-amps again. We have already studied, but I will revise it basically. So operational amplifiers playing a different role, like integrator, differentiator, anti-log, log, logarithmic, addition, subtractor, difference amplifier, inverting amplifier. So many types we have. So these all types we are using. That is first part is the instrumentation amplifier, and the second is what? Second is your the instrumentation we have. Then we have in isolate. Isolate. If I'm measuring through the isolation, then I need isolate. Okay. Isolating means optical, capacitive, or transformer. So many types we have. Isolating. I hope you understand. Isolating amplifier. I already told you about. Then we studied about the multiplier and divider. That is analog multiplication, and divider we having mix. We required basically Gilbert mathematics in it. Gilbert mixer basically. So we can easily multiply with the local oscillator and convert into the output. Okay. So I hope you understand. Now in this topic basically. Now today's topic basically of my lecture delivery, that is the sample and hold. Now in signal conditioning we are going to study about sample and hold, my dear student. Now the objective to deliver this lecture to you, my dear students, are first is have the student means learner to understand the basics of sample and hold. Basics of sample and what is sample, what is hold, why we are going to study this thing, why we need it, what is the process of it. Okay? And secondly, we are going to study the basically understand the working purpose and implementation of sample and hold. What is the working, what is the purpose and implementation of a sample and hold. Understand the working purpose and implementation of sample and hold. I hope you understand. Now moving forward to cover up all these my objectives. Now introduction. Now if I'm going to tell you something, though I have to first introduce this thing, because when I start my lecture I always introduce myself that I Racha Saxena working as this on this position. Why introduce myself? Because I want to make resemblance of mine. Okay. And I want to basically make that you will remember me and you will remember this topic. So first I want to introduce this topic. What is it? Okay, I hope you understand. Now sample and hold, that is short form is S by H. As you know sample and as denotes hold, is an important analog building block. It is what? Analog. If I am building analog working we have, so analog building block with many applications. With many applications. So many applications we do with the help of this sample and hold. What are they? Including analog to digital converters. What we having? Analog to digital converter, that is ADC. We have already studied in the digital electronics. I hope you understand about the analog to digital converter and digital to analog converter, multiplexer, all these things. And secondly, we having switched capacitor filter. What we having? Switched capacitor filters. Secondly, means we can say sample and hold is an important analog building block with many applications, including what? Analog to digital converters and switch capacitor filters. And switch capacitor filters. Okay. Now, the function of the switch to sample to hold circuit is to sample an analog input, signal and hold this value over a certain length, of time for subsequent processing. For what? Subsequent processing. Okay. Now, taking advantage of the excellent properties of MOS, metal oxide semiconductor capacitors and switches. Taking what? First, the function of sample to hold circuit is to sample an analog input signal and hold this value over a certain length for subsequent processing. Subsequent processing. Taking advantages of excellent properties of which capacitor? MOS, that is metal oxide semiconductor capacitors and switches. Metal oxide semiconductor, we can say capacitors and switches. Traditional switch capacitor techniques can be used to realize different sample to hold circuits. Traditional switch capacitor techniques can be used to realize different sample to hold circuits. Different sample to hold circuits we can use for traditional switch capacitor techniques. Now moving forward, the simplest sample to hold circuit in metal oxide semiconductor technology is shown in figure 1. I'll show you later on, where V in the is the input signal and M1 is an MOS transistor operating, where V in is the input signal. MOS technology shown in figure 1, where V in is the input signal, M1 is an MOS transistor operating, a sample switch, and CH is the hold capacitor. CH what is the hold capacitor, and CK is the clock signal, and V out is the resultant sample and hold output signal. And V out is the resulting sample and hold output signal. Now see, CK is the block, basically clock. CS is basically the CH, we can say the simple it is given hold capacitor. Here we have the hold, so hold capacitor we have hold capacitor. Okay, now see here. So where V is the input signal, M1 is an MOS transistor operating, that is metal oxide transistor operating as a sampling switch. CH is the hold capacitor, CS we can say. CK is the clock signal, and V out is the resulting sample and hold output. V out is the what? The resulting sample and hold output signal. Now see, CK the clock signal we having sample, track and hold. CK again we having the capacitor. M1 is the MOS transistor. CS is basically the holding, we can say the capacitor for the hold and subsequent processing we can say. V in is here, that is we are giving in, and V out we are taking out from it. In which way, or we can say if I am substitute it for the certain thing, so V out is there. Now moving forward, switched op-amp based sample and hold circuit, switch op-amp based sample and hold circuit. Two things are there basically. That is the switch based sample and hold circuit. That is here we have the SOP, V in, V out +1, and that is the holding capacitor. Like this. See here. It is showing like this, but in this we are using what? The integrated op-amp. What we have used basically the integrating op-amp. I hope you understand. Now that is then here the simplest S by H circuit in MOS technology shown in figure 1, where V in is the input signal, M1 is an MOS transistor operating as the sampling switch, CH is the hold capacitor, CK is the clock signal, and V out is the resulting sample and hold output signal. So here simple. Here we have again SOP is there. Integrator we have in the op-amp base, again +1 op-amp, holding capacitor and V out. So both we having used for sample and hold circuit. I hope you understand. Now working, how it works basically. How it works and why we using this sample we have already understand. But what is the working? What is the working? Now Working during sample mode, the SOP behaves just like a regular op amp. You can say the operational amplifier in during the sample. I am taking the sample mode. The SOP behaves just like a regular op amp. It's just behave like a what? A regular op amp, in which the value of output follows the value of input. In which the value of output follows the value of input. Okay, so during sample mode, the SOP behaves just like a regular op amp, a regular operational amplifier, in which the value of output follows the value of the input. During hold mode, hold we having the hold mode, the MOS transistor at the output node of the SOP are turned off. The MOS transistor at the output of the node. This is the thing. During hold mode, the MOS transistor at the output node of the SOP are turned off. Are turned off basically while they are still operating in saturation. While they are still operating in saturation, thus preventing any channel change from flowing into the output of the SOP. Preventing any channel change from flowing into the output of the SOP. In addition, the SOP is shut off. In addition, the SOP is what? Shut off, and its output is held at high impedance. And its output is held at high impedance, allowing the charge on CH to be preserved throughout the whole loop. And allowing the charge on the CH to be preserved. Now I'm preserving, now that is preserving throughout the whole mode. For the which mode? Whole mode. Okay. Now during sample mode, the SOP behaves just like a regular, just behaving like a regular op-amp, in which the value of the output follows the value of the input. Now during hold mode, the MOS transistor at the output node of the SOP are turned off while they are still operating in saturation, thus preventing any channel charge from flowing into the output of the SOP. Output of the SOP. If changing is there, though will be some charge will flow. So we have to preventing any channel through this saturation, thus preventing any channel charge from flowing into the output of the SOP. We have okay. In addition, the SOP is shut off. In addition, the SOP is shut off, and its output is held at high pace. In addition, the SOP is what? Shut off, and its output is held at high impedance, allowing the charge on CH to be preserved, means holding capacitor to be preserved throughout the whole. Throughout the what? Whole. On the other hand, the output buffer of this sample to hold circuit, on the other hand, we can say the output buffer of this sample hold circuit is always operational. So always what? Operation during sample and hold mode. During sample and which mode? Hold. Sampling and hold. Two things are there. Now sampling I am taking in sample and holding up to the desired what we want for the subsequent readings. So sample and hold mode, and is always providing the voltage on, we can say, the holding capacity to the output of the sample to hold circuit. Okay, the output buffer of this SPIH circuit, that is sample to hold circuit, is always operational during sample and hold mode, and is always providing the voltage on CH to the output of the sample or oblique hold circuit. I hope you understand. Now moving forward, purpose. Now, my dear student, what is the purpose? Why I am using this? Why we can use this? What is the use of this sample and hold circuit? As I earlier told you that we use instrumentation amplifier in this. Why I'm using for this? Taking a difference of it working. Isolation amplifier I'm using. Why I'm using the isolation amplifier? Because I have to isolate the basically the electrical circuit with the patient and the electrical leakage current flowing to the body of that patient. I have to prevent that. The sample and hold circuits are essentially used in linear system. The sample and hold circuits are essentially used in what? Linear system. In linear systems. In some kinds of analog to digital converter, the input is often compared to a voltage generated internally. The input sample and hold circuit are essentially used in what? Linear system. We are working in a linear input, output, and some feedback mechanism we can say, but we are in the linear form. Okay. So in some kind of analog to digital converters, ADC we can say in short form, the input is often compared to a voltage generated internally. The input is often compared to a voltage generated internally from a digital to analog converter. From what? Digital to analog converter, that is DAC. Digital to analog converter. Okay. Now the circuit tries a series of values and stops. Circuit tries what? A series of values and stops converting once the voltage are the same. The circuit tries a series of voltage values and stops converting once the voltage are the same. Once the voltage are the same within some defined error margin. So we use what? It is essentially used in what? Linear system. In some kinds of analog to digital converters, we use this thing. The input is often compared to the voltage generated internally from a digital to analog converter, that is DAC. We can say in a short form. The circuit tries a series of values and stop converting once the voltage are the same within some defined error margin. Okay, I hope you understand. Now, the purpose. What is it? The purpose. Again, it is a purpose. First purpose. Now, again, if the input value was permitted to change, if the input value was permitted to change, means if I am giving some input value, for example, I am giving 5 or whatever it is, was permitted to change, means if it is permitted to change, means already permission it get that the change thing already get the permission, or it is permitted that we can change it. Okay, so was permitted to change during this comparison from one to another, the resulting conversion would be inaccurate and possibly completely unrelated. If input value was permitted to change, means if input value is given to, for example, 5, now it is permitted to change, means we can change it basically. So was permitted to change during this comparison process, now the resulting conversion would be inaccurate. We are getting inaccurate result because it is permitted to change. We can change it, my dear student. So if I am changing something, so what will happen? We get the accurate result? No, never. We'll get inaccurate and possibly completely unrelated. Possibly what? Completely unrelated to the true input. Would be inaccurate and possibly completely unrelated to the true value. True input value. Now, successive, we can say such successive approximation converters will often incorporate internal sample and hold circuit. That basically we can say the successive of approximation converters will often incorporate internal sample and hold circuit. The circuitry, sample and hold circuit. Internally sample and hold circuit. I hope you understand. Now, in addition, sample and hold circuits are often used when multiple samples. We can say in addition, sample and hold circuits are often used when multiple samples need to be measured. In addition with the previous statement, we can say the sample and hold circuits are often used when multiple samples need to be measured. How many samples? Multiple samples need to be measured at same time. At which time? At same time. Each value is sampled and held using a common sample. So, sample and hold circuit are often used when multiple samples need to be measured. Now, so many samples. For example, I have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can say so many, 10 to 15 samples. So we use are often used when multiple samples need to be measured at same time. Same time we having. So each value is sampled and held. Each value is sampled and held using a common sample. Using a what? Common sample clock, like this diagram. See, hold with same sample clock we having hold, and for this same sample clock we are basically placing working on like this. I hope you understand now. Okay. Using a common sample clock. Now, I hope you understand. Time that using a common sample clock, that is I already showed you in this. So here we make a sample clock and we make here sample and hold. Use what? MOS, basically the transistor, the capacitor we have, holding capacitor. Now, implementation. In order that the input voltage is held constant, we can say in order that the input voltage is held constant. Now, in order that we are making the input voltage is held constant, what we are going to do, in order that the input which you are getting in the 5 volt, 6 volt, 7 volt, 8 volt, 9 volt, whatever we having, up to 15 volt we can say, 16 volt also there. Now voltages we can say 10 readings, 15 readings, whatever. So in order that the input voltage is held constant for all practical purposes, for what? All practical purposes, it is essential that the capacitor have very low leakage. It is very essential, it is needed, it is basically demanded that the capacitor have very low leakage, have very low. If it is very high leakage, we can't do it, we can't implement it. Okay, so very low leakage, and that it not be loaded to any significant degree, and that it not be loaded to any which degree, significant degree, which calls for a very high input impedance, which calls for a very high input impedance. Now see what is the how can we implement this thing. Now if I want to implement, my dear student, though I need what? In order to that the input voltage is held constant, I have to make the input voltage the constant for all practical purposes. For what? All practical purposes, it is essential, it is needed, it is demanded, it is in the need, it is basically we want from the user purpose or user perspective, we need that the capacitor, or essential that the capacitor have very low leakage. How much leakage? Very low leakage, and that it not be loaded to any significant, not be loaded to any significant degree, which calls for a very high impedance, which calls for a very high input impedance, very high input impedance we can say. Now a true and sample and hold circuit, true sample and hold circuit is connected to the buffer, is connected to what? Is connected to the buffer for a short period of time, for a short period of time. A track and a hold circuit is designed to track input continuously. A track and hold circuit is designed to track input continuously. Okay, I hope you understand. Now implementation, again I am telling about what? In order that the input voltage is held constant, if I am making, in order to that the input voltage is held constant, or basically remain constant, or we can make constant, so, or for the all the practical purposes or which purpose we want, it is essential, it is needed that the capacitor have very low leakage. Capacitor have what? Very low leakage, and that it not to be loaded to any significant degree, not to be loaded any significant degree, which calls for very high input impedance, which calls for what? Very high input impedance. Okay, a 2N sample hold circuit is connected to the buffer for a short period of a time. A track and hold circuit is designed to track input continuously. To track what? Input continuously. So we can say sample and hold circuit is an important analog of building a block with many applications. As I earlier told you, how many applications we have, including in analog to digital converters. We having, for example, we having analog to digital converters. So we can use this. We having the very important analog building block, in which basically many applications we have, including analog to digital or digital to analog, or switch capacitor filters. What we having? Switch capacitor filters. Now we can say the filters. Basically, I am talking about you the capacitor filters. So capacitor filter is basically what we use the for filtration purpose. That capacitor. Why we are using? Because capacitor having the capacitance that is XL is equals to 1 by omega C. XC is equals to XL is equals to omega L, that is the inductance. But if I am talking about the capacitance, that is XC is equals to 1 by omega C, and omega L is XL. So L will give the is proportional to the frequency. So the impedance which is basically having the capacitor or inductor. So inductor always passes the low frequency, the DC we can say 0, but blocks the AC. And if I'm talking about the capacitor, so capacitor always passes, we can say, the inversely proportional. So high frequency, low impedance, low frequency, high impedance. But in inductor, we having what? High frequency, high impedance, low frequency, low impedance. XL is equals to omega L. So XL is equals to 2 pi F. So XL is proportional to the F. So XL is higher, frequency is higher. XL is lower, frequency is lower. Frequency is lower, XL is lower. Frequency is higher, XL is higher. So high frequency, high impedance, low frequency, low impedance passes the DC frequency, blocks the AC. DC means low, zero frequency. So zero impedance is easily passed. I hope you understand. But if I am talking about the capacitor, my dear student, so in capacitor, the capacitance is XC. Capacitance is what? XC. And if I am talking about the XC here, so XC means what? XC is equals to 1 by omega C. And 1 by omega C means 1 upon 2 pi FC. Means XC is inversely proportional to the frequency, or XC is proportional to the 1 by frequency, 1 by. So XC is greater, frequency is lower. XC is lower, frequency is greater. Frequency increasing, XC decreasing. Frequency decreasing, XC increasing. Frequency increase, XC increase, and XC decrease. XC decrease, frequency increase. We can say in another way. And it passes the low frequency, blocks the high frequency. Basically blocks the low frequency and passes the high frequency. So high frequency we can use with the for the filtering process. L and C combination we can use. So here what we are using? We are using switched capacitor. Which type of filter we are using, my dear student? Switched capacitor. That is what switched capacitor filters we are using. Okay. Now, the function of sample to hold circuit is to sample an analog input, whether it is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 15, 16, whatever, 18, 19. So analog input signal and hold this value over a certain length of time. Over what? Certain length of a time for subsequent processing. For which type of processing? Subsequent. We can say work by work. So in continuous manner we have the processing. So for subsequent processing, holding length of a time we can take. Now taking advantage of the excellent properties of MOS capacitor. So which type of capacitor we are using? Metal oxide semiconductor capacitors and switches. We can say the MOS switches we already have available in the market, so we can use that one. Now traditional switch capacitor technique can be used to realize different sample and hold circuit. Means if we are talking about the new one, then we have to use what? We have to use what, my dear student? We have to do basically what? If I'm talking about the greater advantage, good process, newer thing, modern technology, then I have to use the MOS technology. That is metal oxide semiconductor capacitor and switch capacitors we have. But if we took based on a traditional technique, then we use switch capacitor, but we having different sample and hold circuits to realize it. Okay. Now, in a basically we can say the how we can realize that it is a sample and hold circuit. So where Vin is the input signal, M1 is an MOS transistor operating as the sampling switch, like see here. And this is what? This is your sampling switch. This is clock. This is the holding capacitor. Here we have the output and input is there. So we can say this. We can say the clock frequency we having. So we are having the tracking, then sampling, then holding it up to the which level. Now, for example, see, for I have to hold the 5 volt for 5 seconds. I have to hold to what? 5 is the sample. 5 volt is the sample for you that you have to, or hold is the timing. How much time? For 5 seconds. So clock timing we have it, that is 5 seconds. So I have to hold the 5 voltage value for 5 seconds. That is sample and hold. Sampling we have it, then we have the hold. I hope you understand. Now moving forward, here we are having the MOS, the transistor, that is metal oxide semiconductor technology based transistor. This is the holding capacitor. Here will be the out, the in, sample and hold. Now it is again we having the SOP, that is switch operand. The input is there, holding capacitor, that we having the again two things are there. One for this, another one is for this, and V out we have. Okay, now working. Now during sample mode, basically 5 volt, I am taking example. That is why I am repeating this thing. Now SOP, that is sample operational amplifier, behave just like a regular op-amp. Behave what? Behave just like a regular op-amp. Op-amp, you know what is it? Operational amplifier, IC741 8-pin. So operational amplifier we have, they may work like what? Integrator, differentiator, log, anti-log, difference, and adder also, inverse we can say, invert we can say. So many options we can perform with the help of operational amplifier. So during sample mode, the SOP behave just like a regular op-amp. SOP means simple amplifier or sampling of operational amplifier during sampling mode, in which the value of output follows the value of input, means 5 volt to 5 volt, 5 volt, 5 volt, for example. During hold mode, now I have to hold it. Hold mode, the most transistor, that is the metal oxide semiconductor transistor, at the output node of the SOP, that is sample operation amplifier, are turned off. Output node are turned off while they are still operating in saturation, means working in the saturation, thus preventing any channel change and preventing what? Any channel charge for flowing into the output of the SOP. Means, now see, I having the amplifier here, like I having the SOP is there. If I'm basically sampling it, so what will happen? I give this input and I take the output. Sampling 5 volt, I am getting 5 volt. Now if I want to do hold it, so I have to do what? This thing. Now holding capacitor we having, through this we can hold the value till the time it is given to you, and no charges, we make a saturation region here. So what happened? No charges will flow from here to here, directly output. No charge will go. That is one. And if no charge is moving, so we are making it the hold. We make it on the hold, like this. See here. During the hold mode, the MOS transistor at the output node of the SOP are turned off while they are still operating in saturation, thus preventing any channel charge, channeling charge from flowing into the output, of the sample operation amplifier. In addition, the SOP is shut off. In addition, what happened? The sample operational amplifier is shut off and its output is held at high impedance. And output is what? Held at what impedance? High impedance, my dear student. Now allowing the charge on CH to be preserved throughout the whole day. Now what happens? If charges are moving, so basically the holding capacitor we have, that store it to be preserved throughout the whole day. Okay, if it is off, then it is held at the high impedance, allowing the charge on the CH to be preserved, that is holding capacitor, to store it, because charges always stored in a capacitor we have in two plates, to be preserved throughout the whole mode. Throughout the which mode? Whole mode. Okay, now on the other hand, the output buffer of the sample hold circuit is always operational. On the other hand, the output buffer of the sample and hold circuit, we having the one output buffer circuit, is always operational. That is working. That is working continuously in the sample and holding mode. We can see during the sample and hold mode, and is always providing the voltage on CH. It provides what? The voltage on charge, basically the holding capacitor, to the output of the sample and hold circuit. The what? Sample and hold circuit. That is the what. The purpose, sample and hold circuit are essentially used in linear system. If I want to make sample, like for example 5 volt, now I have to hold this 5 volt for 15 seconds. Holding. Sampling 5 volt, directly input to holding. We make the operational amplifier there, stop it, and make a saturation. No channel can remove. If it is moved, then it is preserved by the capacitor, that is holding capacitor. So it is used in which type? Linear system. Used in linear system. I hope you understand. Now, linear system. In some kind of analog to digital converters, we can use this. In which? Analog to digital converters. Now the input is often compared to a voltage generated internally from digital to analog. DC means ABC and DC. We use this sample and hold. The circuit tries a series of values and stops converting once the voltage is seen. The circuit tries a series of values and stops values. We having 555, 566, 6655, 8899 like these values, and stops converting once the voltage are the same. And stops converting when we having what voltages are same. Okay, within some defined energy. Within some what defined energy. Now, purpose again. If the input value was permitted to change during the comparison process, the resulting conversion would be inaccurate and possibly completely unrelated. Would be inaccurate and possibly completely unrelated to the true input value. Unrelated to the change. Such successive approximation converters will often incorporate internal sample and hold circuits. Will often incorporate internal sample and hold circuits. In addition, sample and hold circuits are often used. Purpose we are using often used when multiple samples need to be measured. How many samples? Multiple samples need to be measured at the same time. Same time, multiple samples to be measured. Each value is sampled and held using a common sample. Each value is sampled and held using a common sample. Now, implementation. How can we implement it? In order that the input voltage is held constant for all practical purposes, it is essential that the capacitor have very low leakage. If capacitor have leakage, so all charge will convert into discharge. All charge will leakage, so we can't hold it, and that it not be loaded to any significant degree. That it not be loaded to any significant degree, which calls for a very high input impedance. Which calls for very high input impedance. A true sample and hold circuit is connected to the buffer. A true sample and hold circuit is connected to a buffer for a short period of time. For which period of time? Short period of time. A track and a hold circuit is designed to track input continuously. Track input what? Continuously. Okay. Now, advantages and disadvantages. If I am talking about my dear student, the sample and hold circuit. So why I am using this sample and hold circuit that I earlier told you. Purpose I earlier told you DAC, AC, holding and sampling. With an example, I already told you that I have to basically sample the 5 voltage with holding that voltage up to 5 seconds. So we use the sample and hold. What we are using holding capacitor to hold it, an operational amplifier, that is sample operational amplifier, directly give input to output when it is in the sample mode. And if it is in the holding mode, then hold it means no input comes to the output. We make a barrier, you can say the saturation is there, so the channels charges will stop there, and if it is moved, then it is preserved by the capacitor. Okay, so that is it. We use in what? In the purpose we are using analog to digital or digital to analog. Okay, so why I am using this purpose I already given you. I already tell you. I already basically told you this thing. Why we are using the purpose is this one. Implementation I already tell you how can we implement this. So we use the capacitor of very we can say low leakage. If leakage is higher, it can't be work. Why it is not working? Because all charges will leak. So we have to work for low leakage capacitor. So I have to make this capacitor. So that is why we are using metal oxide semiconductor capacitor for switching. The traditional switch capacitor is basically for different samples for lower value purpose. Now, what are the advantages? So obtain a low drop rate holding. Low drop, you can say low drop rate during holding. Holding means low drop will be taking place. Okay, during the holding mode. Stability is determined by the stabilities of operational amplifier. Now, stability we can determine with the stabilities of how many operational amplifier we are using. For example, 2. So we can work for the 2. We work for the 2s. Okay. Now, operational amplifier offset can constrain the accuracy of SHA. Now, operational amplifier we have in the offset. We can say the offset can constrain the accuracy. Can what? Constrain the accuracy of sample and hold amplifiers. We can say simple because we are using op-amps. Now, needs a special circuitry to stabilize the input amplifier during the holding. Disadvantage. Need a special circuitry to stabilize the input amplified during the what which mode? Holding. Need special. I need a special circuit. I need a special supply input amplifier during the hold. So advantages: low drop rate, stability is determined by the stabilities of operational amplifiers and a number of amplifier we are using. So depend on it. Op-amp offset can consider the accuracy of sample and hold. Need a special circuitry to stabilize the input. Need what? Special circuitry to basically stabilize the input amplifier during the hold. Now, conclusion. Sample and hold is an important analog building block that has many applications. I earlier told you. The simplest sample and hold circuit can be constructed using only one MOS transistor and one volt capacitor. I already told you with the diagram. However, due to the limitations of most transistor switches, error due to charge injection and clock feed through the resistors, the performance of sample and hold circuits. Limitation of MOS transistor. This will be limitation. As a result, different sample and hold techniques and architectures are developed with the intention to reduce or eliminate these errors. Now, if I want to remove this, if I want to reduce these errors, so many implementations have you can say implementations take places, architectures, techniques we are using nowadays. Okay, now this is the conclusion. Now, more new sample and hold techniques and architect need to propose in order to meet the increasing demand for high speed, low power, and low voltage sample and hold circuit for data acquisition system. Now it is a very new technology, that is data acquisition system. We are using, for example, we are using SCADA in our system. So for this, we use sample and hold circuit. We are using new technologies. Okay. Now this is all about the this. Now the what is the main function of analog to digital converter? Convert what? Analog signal to digital. What is the main function of DAC? Digital to analog. Now, sample and hold is digitally controlled analog circuit that tracks the analog input signal during the sample mode and then holds it fixed during the hold mode to instantaneous value of signal. So we can say two. The time required to complete the conversion of analog digital signal is analog conversion of analog to digital is decimals. In analog to digital, what is the time relation between sampling period T and the duration of the sampling hold B? In the absence of an S by H, that is sample by hold, the input signal must change by more than one half cycle of the one half of the we can say quantization step during the conversion, which may be practical also too. Now, what is the process of downsampling called? Decimation. Which of the following is the right way to reduce distortion in DM? Okay, so that is by setting up integrator. In DM by decreasing rest, reduce 2. In interpolation factor 1 by 256, that is I, the analog digital can obtain averaging success in no overblocks of 128 bits. So these are the multiple choice questions related to your this lecture digital. So these are the reference books. E.K. Sani, R.S. Selmi and A.S. Maris, very good content they have basically in this book. So you can just go through it, just read it. These are available in the library. And I also took some material for it. Now thank you from my side for patience listening. I hope you understand about sample and hold circuit and what is the purpose, implementation and advantage and disadvantage and working and principle also. So I hope you understand about this lecture of mine based on sample and hold circuit. So I hope you understand. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you.